That's why we need the church. Because the church is comprised of wounded healers. People who didn't always have it together. Some people who've had to live through some stuff, who've had to overcome some stuff. Come on. Some people who can testify, yes, I committed a sin, but the Lord made a way. Yes, I did some dirty stuff, but the Lord made a way. Yes, I used to be a liar, but the Lord made a way. I used to be a thief, but the Lord made a way. I used to be a fornicator, but the Lord made a way. I used to be an adulterer, but look what the Lord has done for me. I used to be one who was jealous, had hated on people for what they have, but look what the Lord has done for me. I used to be, and the room is full of, the recovery room is full of people who can declare that they used to be. But at the same time, this messed me up the other day. I had an upper scope while I was in the recovery room getting ready to go home. I heard the doctor say to somebody else who was in the recovery room, he said, we're going to have to do this procedure again. He said, we're going to have to do this procedure again. And he says, the reason we got to do it again is because when we went in, we couldn't see anything. He says, so what I need you to do, I need you to go home and I need you to schedule, this is what he said, this blew me up. He said, I need you to take a double prep. Wait a minute. Now, a single prep of go lightly is enough to make you take the whole day off. Come on, y'all might as well testify. And for those of you who ain't old enough to understand what we're talking about, just keep living, baby. Just keep letting the sun rise in the east and set in the west. And one day, even things may be right, you're going to have a go lightly experience. And the doctor told this person, he said, listen, we got to go back in, but I need you to take a double prep. Myself and the others who were coming to our senses heard the doctor say that he had to go home and take a double prep. We just started looking at one another and saying, I told him, I said, this is where we ought to thank Jesus. I don't know if you Jewish. I don't know if you Hindu. I don't know what your religious background is, but I don't work here. I'm a patient here, and I think this is where we ought to thank Jesus. This is where we ought to praise him, right here in the recovery room. You see, we're not going home with a false diagnosis, or we're not going home with somebody telling us that we got to come back. We're going home with somebody saying we found the problem. We know what the situation is. We know how to address it. And that's what happens when you come to the recovery room. You get some good information that helps you understand what your next step ought to be. And that's why we got to go fishing, because there are too many people who are in the world today who have not come by the recovery room.